and as always, thank you for tuning in to the Adventures of D-Webb Enterprises, LLC. Today is Thursday, May 20th, 2021, and on today's video, I just basically want to explain what I'm doing day to day currently while waiting for more of my Steelers seats to sell and Raider seats to sell. Just as a good entrepreneur, I feel like if you have downtime, that you can always be doing something else to try and make more money or make profits. So what I've been doing basically is I've been finding out when the Penguin home games for the playoffs will go on sale. And what I'll do is I'll get, not on the wait list, but I'll find out when the public sale is going on. And 10 minutes before the public sale, usually on whatever website is selling them, you can get on the wait list. So with the Penguins at least, it's usually through Ticketmaster with like all of the NHL. So you just basically go on Ticketmaster 10 minutes before the public sale would begin to the Pittsburgh Penguins or whatever team you want to buy tickets for. I also want to suggest only doing this in your home city, which I'll get back into reasons why for that. But long story short, so you find out when the public sale is going to be, and once you do that, you can get on the wait list 10 to 15 minutes early. The sooner the better. Just even if you're killing a little of your phone battery, who cares? You want to get the best spot in line to get the best potential spot or best potential seat. So what I'll do is once I'm on the wait list, you just kill time. You're waiting until it's your turn, and then once it's your turn, I always try to stay on the Penguins' attacking side just because you get to see offense twice, 2 periods of it instead of 1. So more people are willing to pay a couple extra bucks for those seats. So what I'll do is I only will try and find A the first time I get on because that's my best chance to find the best seat. So I'll find anything on the attacking side, row A. So as anybody who's not a big sports follower, row A means the front row. And now, I'm not talking top dollar front row of the lower section, so you're on the ice, but I'm just saying I want row A of the upper level. So I'm still getting them at a reasonable deal because I'm paying for upper level prices, but row A is very nice because no fans can stand up in front of you and get in your way, or just basically you don't have to move as much for people. So it's just a lot nicer. And with this limited capacity right now, the Pittsburgh Penguins are up to 50%. So it's just kind of nice to be spread out and know, again, that nobody can stand up in front of you. That's the main thing. So if you want to take a photo or a video while the game's going on, no one's hands are flying up or just getting in your way. That can get a little annoying. But so long story short, I'll always go for row A on the first time I get on the website. And then once you purchase tickets, you can get back in it's called the Quents or whatever they call it. And that's basically you're just in the waiting line or whatever. So you get your spot in the Quents, and then you just wait till it's your turn again. And what I'll do is I get on again, and I try to get A. Obviously, I just keep looking for A on the attacking side. If that's not available, I will go to B or C, but I won't go past C. Once C is sold out, I'm done. I don't worry about it because I want to only be able to resell them. So I don't want the nosebleed seats because a lot of those seats will still stay on Ticketmaster and won't sell. So you can't really upcharge for them because anybody can go on there and look at the price and see that you're just charging 20, 30, 40 bucks more. So they're not going to want to buy tickets off you. And then they just honestly might think you're like being a jerk or whatever. And it's not that. You're just trying to do the smart thing that you think a game's going to sell out. So one thing I learned, this was a learning experience, I missed out on the chance, was the first Penguin playoff game against the Islanders was on a Saturday at noon, and I didn't realize how big of a demand for those tickets there was going to be. So I tried to get on the Quents or wait list or whatever 10 minutes early, but I actually got 8 minutes early, and I didn't realize that you can technically get in on the Quents up to 15 minutes early before the game starts. So by the time it was my turn, it tells you how many people are in front of you. I was in the 500s to get to even look at the seats. So by the time it got to my turn, A, B, C, actually it was fully sold out. I didn't even want to just say A, B, and C were gone. The whole entire thing was sold out. I couldn't even get an individual ticket for me to go and watch the game. So that was actually really when I realized too how much money there could be made in reselling them, because I thought, wow, if they sell out that fast, that's crazy. Now, that was where I made a big mistake, and I was just being eager, and it was learning, but I didn't screw up too bad, what am I trying to say? So that was a Saturday at noon. So I didn't think about how many extra people get off on the weekends and would want to go to that. So the following game was on a Tuesday, I'm pretty sure. Either way, it was a weekday is what I'm trying to say. And I went to the game it was just this last Tuesday. So I went to the Penguin playoff game, and I had an extra 3 seats to sell. Now, I was able to sell them, thankfully, to my friends, but I didn't realize that the prices on Ticketmaster were gonna be way more competitive with what I was doing. Now, thankfully, again, I had friends that bought them off me, and I learned because I didn't have row A, so I didn't realize that, like, really my friends were just being nice and helping me out and making me 10, 20 bucks per ticket for buying off me. But more or less, they could have went on Ticketmaster and got the same exact deal I got for my seats because I just thought the game was going to sell out so fast like the first one did. So I just bought as quick as I could. And I realize now that was not strategic, and I lucked out on reselling them. So this next game, which is the third one, it's up and coming. It'll be on Monday, the 24th of May, 2021. That'll be the 5th playoff game against the Pittsburgh Penguins and the New York Islanders. Hopefully, if the Penguins can continue to beat them, that could be the end of the series and we can move on. But I'm not going to say the Islanders won't win another game. I don't want to be cocky. But long story short is I'm basically saying that could be the last home game this series. Win or lose, if we lose every game from now, that could be the last playoff game or home season game for the rest of the season. So people are going to be excited for the tickets. So I made sure to get in row A. Now again, I'll go into row A, B, or C if it's an important game, but it was a life learning thing that I had to realize that you don't want to just buy any seat. Not every game, even not every playoff game, is going to be some sort of crazy sellout. So I realized to pay a lot more attention to the day of the game, because playoff games, especially on a weekend, will be absolutely nuts. Everyone will want tickets, so that won't be hard to sell. So that's like what I'm trying to learn now, is how to decide what games are better to invest in. And that's where I was saying that you should only do this in your home city, because I found out, so I used to only sell on Ticketmaster. Well, not only, but that was my plan, was to only sell on Ticketmaster and to be able to just sell to friends. I didn't realize how many different websites there were that people use, so I started to do my research, and now I put my Steelers seats and my Las Vegas Raiders seats on Vivid Seats. I put them on SeatGeek. I put them on StubHub and Ticketmaster now, and I personally sell them. So that gives me, and now YouTube, hopefully people branch out. So that's 6 different outlets of people possibly to see my tickets. So I just hope that between those 6 sources, I can sell all my tickets every season. Now again, anybody who branches out to me directly and doesn't buy off Ticketmaster or those websites, I will give you a better deal for coming to me directly, and I don't lose percentages. So I don't mean to be getting into my sales pitch, but what I'm trying to basically say is I can relist those on all those websites, and my Penguin tickets, when I buy them just for the public sale opener, no, not public sale opener, but when I buy them through the public sale, I can't relist them on all those websites, and I didn't realize that. So that was a big life learning lesson, because basically now I know, again, I'll never just buy high nosebleed seats that aren't A, B, or C row in the front, because you're going to get stuck with those. I thankfully did not get stuck with any. I even at times were able to sell tickets during the regular season to buddies that were just going with me and at sticker price, because that's the thing I want to mention too, is the fact that during the regular season, it was the same concept where obviously I said it's Thursday, May 20th, 2021. So we're going through this pandemic. Thank goodness that the Penguin Stadium Pittsburgh and Pennsylvania in general has lowered their restrictions of the COVID-19. So obviously the games can be a little more filled. Penguins are currently up to 50% capacity. So that was another thing that I didn't realize. And it wasn't really a life learning thing, because hopefully we never go through another COVID-19 in my lifetime, and hopefully that we never have to deal with that firsthand for me. So I hope to never have to say that this was a learning lesson. It was just what I had to deal with. But long story short, I didn't realize at the time that the first playoff game still only had the third capacity, or it was a lot less than half capacity. So that was part of the reason the second playoff game, and now even the current one coming up on Monday, May 24th, 2021, is going to be a lot more people, so there's a lot more seats available, so the sellout rate is a lot lower. So that's something that anybody who watches my videos that isn't from Pittsburgh, you need to look into that in your own city. Not everything that I'm saying will apply for you in your city, because if your town either has already had half capacity, and or if you guys are behind us and have even less than half capacity, your ticket values may sell out or ratio value way differently due to how many people can go into the stadium, how many fans you actually have. Not like fans in the stadium, because I know that's the same thing that I just said, but I'm just saying your actual fan base of the team. Hold on one second. Sorry, I gotta hydrate. I got my Giant Eagle water bottle for anybody that's a Pittsburgher and knows what Giant Eagle is. But long story short is, don't do everything that I'm saying, because again, I'm a young entrepreneur. I'm learning and making mistakes, and basically I didn't do everything correctly. It worked out, thankfully. I have not lost money and had to eat a ticket yet, but I've got to go pretty much for free, and or got my ticket at just about half price because I sold 3 other tickets. So it's definitely worked out in my favor doing it, and I think I'm going to continue to try to do it if the Penguins continue to make it through the playoffs, and because I think the hype will be there, especially if you can, again, get A specifically, but B or C I think would still be able to resell, because you don't seem shady if you explain to them, look, you're in the front 2 or 3 rows, especially if you have the front row. You can say your front row, you're on the attacking side, and all these spots are sold out. So even though I'm upcharging a couple bucks and you could get cheaper seats up more, these seats are better. They're prime. You got to sell the seat. Now, I'm not telling you to be a car salesman and sell snake oil. I mean, you got to tell the truth about everything and explain to them. Like, when I sell the tickets to people, I even give them the heads up, like, hey, even though Pennsylvania's eased restrictions in certain places, you don't need masks. In there, you have to wear your mask all the time. I tell them that now, since COVID-19, they've gone cashless. So if you go to a Penguin game, you have to use a debit or credit card. You can't hand anybody cash to pay for anything. And then one other thing I try to make sure to mention is the capacity. Now, it's at half right now. So I let people know that so that they'll have a little more space to space out, but it also won't be as loud and rambunctious as it normally would be in a traditional full capacity normal season. So those are things that I try to do. Now, again, I don't mean to bore everyone. I always throw this into every video. Thankfully, today, I feel like the background noise didn't seem too bad, and I had a good spot for lighting. But I do all this on a video or on a cell phone, so my video is non-edited. Sometimes I have to retake, of course, if I stutter too bad or if I get too much off topic. So it's not like this is my only video I made and then I just put it up. I do some retakes, but other than doing some retakes, the whole video is straight through. I don't edit anything. So when the bugs start messing with me, I just have to move over or do whatever. And again, I'm not a great editor, so I can't even really do much more than just lecture on to you guys. I apologize. I have slowly started wanting to learn more, so I'm starting to look up some YouTube videos myself. So again, that's why I decided to create the YouTube channel, was just to get my face out there and get more people to see me, because again, it's all about resources and outlets of how you can get viewed, especially in something like selling tickets, because anybody can go on Ticketmaster and just buy a ticket. But if they're my friend and they know that I can get them a pretty good section and spot for only a little more, they'll be willing to do it, because now I'm more making it an event than just buying a ticket. I'm making, especially if you have multiple seats and you go down with them and you guys all have a good time and your buddies, and so now you're making it an event again for them. It's not just buying a ticket off someone and getting upcharged. You're paying your buddy for help getting the ticket and paying them for the good time that they're having, and they're appreciative. Especially, for example, so the Steeler tickets I have are a little higher in the nosebleeds, so I have them listed pretty competitively with the market right now. So I'm not asking for top dollar for those seats, but like, for example, the Las Vegas Raiders seats I have, they are selling for premium price. So anybody who branches out to me directly and wants to buy the tickets, I will dramatically lower the price, even though I know that if I sat on them, I could make a little bit more profit. But it's the appreciation that I can tell that people are branching out to me and want to become business partners. Not so to say you're buying in the tickets with me, but business partners is maybe now you'll keep buying tickets off me if this time goes good. So that's why I will give you the best deal if you actually branch out to me. Other than obviously if you have a family member that's a season ticket holder and gives you a free ticket, I can't beat that. But long story short, I want to do my little sales pitch. I already said about the phone filming. I appreciate everyone who watches, gives me any time of their day. And please like, share, subscribe, comment. Tell me anything I'm doing wrong or correctly, or just anything you have to say. Please branch out in the comments. And I want to say that anybody who is selling season tickets, like just wants to get rid of them, they're either getting older, their family's expanding, they don't have enough seats, or it could be financial. I don't care. You don't have to go in depth, but basically let me know. These don't have to be Pittsburgh specifically. They can be in any city, any sport. Please, it obviously has to be Major League because I want to make profits. I don't want anything besides Major League teams. But please let me know what you have, what you're trying to get rid of, how much you would like for the rights, and if I think it's a good deal, I'll either say yes, or I'll try to tell you what I would offer, and if you're willing to negotiate and go from there, we will then branch out to the team, and I will get the rights into my name and make sure you get paid, and that's how we would do business, and that would be strictly through D-Webb Enterprises LLC, my company, so that you don't have to feel shifty that you're just going to be selling them to some random person. We would meet in person, do the transaction. We'd have to talk with the team, so it would be all official, and you would get some money out of the transaction. So I would appreciate it, and then I can continue to sell your seats, because that's what I'm trying to do, expand my portfolio and get it so I have teams or seats all through the whole U.S. at different stadiums and different sports, and I have them at sticker value, so I can always just make a couple bucks and still hook people up. So please branch out to me. I appreciate anybody who gives me any knowledge. And again, one thing I want to say is, if anybody wants to try and do what I'm saying I'm doing with the Penguins, I strictly say do it with your home city, because the easiest way to resell tickets is on these other third-party websites, and as far as I know, you can't put these seats up on third-party websites. So I wouldn't suggest anybody. I almost did it. I wanted to buy into some of the Colorado Avalanche's home games, but the more I realized it, I said, I'll never be able to sell them. So, sorry, I heard a little animal running around in the background. But I realized I'll never be able to sell them, so why eat them? And even honestly with these Penguin ones, I got a little nervous on the last home game. I thought I was going to have to eat a ticket or two, but thankfully I didn't. As of right now, this current second, it is Thursday, May 20th, 2021, and the Penguin game that I have one more seat left for is on Monday, May 24th, 2021. So technically, even this game, I had 4 tickets. I'm going to use one. I already sold 2, but I have one that's next to me now that I'm still trying to sell. So I pray that I don't have to eat that one, and that'll be my first loss so far of trying to sell the playoff tickets for the Penguins. But it is a part of being an entrepreneur and an investor and wanting to try and learn a new thing and see if it is something that I can do, because I'm an overall sports lover. And again, I would love to purchase anybody's tickets because I want to expand my portfolio. And thank you again. Hold on one second. I just want to make sure I made my time and everything, which I did, and set all my notes. I have everything on the sides. So thank you again for your time. This was Adventures of D-Webb Enterprises, LLC. Please branch out with any questions or concerns.